What's up, my people? My name is Jay, and we are here to review the episode number 2 of the TV show Flash for CW. I tried to do a logo, but you can't even see my hand on this side, so it doesn't matter. Ha! So here's what I've noticed so far. This episode mainly is about Barry dealing with his insecurities and his uncertainties, and it's affecting his abilities. He is passing out. He is losing control. Things are just not going well for him. Now, why would that be? One, because he's at odds with his personalities. Part of him wants to be a hero, other part of him wants to be there for his best friend and his stepfather-ish guy, Detective West. Now, as you see that happening, it affects him. It just naturally affects him like it would affect a normal person. They don't have power, so they wouldn't have to see it in the same way, but there would be things that would affect him. And you've seen it. And I understand it, and I respect it. There's a new foe. Now, in my head, there is a comic book character I know named Multiple Man. Okay? Now, here's my question to you guys in the comments below. Please let me know if that is a real thing, because I feel like it's a real thing. And if it is a real thing, is it DC or is it Marvel? Let me know in the comments below. I would really love to know, because I frankly have no clue. But the name Multiple Man sticks out to me. It just really sticks out to me. And I feel like this guy clearly would be under that category. Let me know. Another thing that I noticed about the show is, if you juxtaposition it to Arrow, this is a lot more slapstick. It's a lot more, don't get me wrong, it has its kind of serious things going on, but it's with Speed, it's easy to be slapstick. Take, for instance, the scene where he's on the treadmill and he's just running and running, and when he hits that point, he falls off and is thrown back into the wall. It's funny. It's actually funny, and I get it. They're taking a different approach. Like I said last week, it's lighter. And I like that it's lighter. Everything can't be dark and gritty, because that's only one aspect of the world. There is another side. This is getting deep. I'm going to stop. I was trying to figure this out, because the whole metahuman thing, it reminded me of something. Now, I know in the comic books and the TV shows and the Justice League and Young Justice and all those shows, metahumans is a thing. And I know that. I know it was a thing a long time ago. My thing is with it that the way the powers are manifesting and who and for the reasons that it does, the best way that I put it was, most people's powers are manifesting based on their personalities or their situation that they were in before the explosion. So if you think about that, there's another TV show where a similar occurrence happened, and something very similar happened, and it started to make people get powers, and they manifested in certain ways based on personality and situation they were in as the catastrophe happened. And that show, ladies and gentlemen, is Smallville, another CW show, also from a DC background, which is cool. Now, instead of being metahumans, I guess you could still call them that. They probably did at some point in the show. But these people were infected with meteor rock, and they would be called meteor freaks. And the same thing happened. This was bothering me this whole episode. This is my paper where I write my notes. But this was bothering me the whole episode, and I was trying to figure out why. It reminds me of something, but I just couldn't figure it out until I realized it. Because, I'm smart and I think about stuff. And that's just something I wanted to give to you guys to think about. Going back to the first thing I said, thinking about it, one of the big things that put Barry at odds with himself was his relationship with Detective West. Detective West does not want him fighting crime. Why? Because he loves him. He cares about him, doesn't want to see him get hurt. Yeah, you fast, but if you get hit by a bullet, your ass is grass, sir. You can die. You're not bulletproof. Are you? No, you're not. So he cares, and that's good. But it makes Barry second guess himself, which is not good for anybody. To help Barry with his problem, with his being at odds with himself, The only way he could be helped is by Detective West coming in and saying, look, you have to do this. You are the only one who can do it. We can't. You are better than us. And I don't mean that in a like snide, cocky way, but I mean like you have the abilities that I don't personally have and the police force doesn't have. You're the only person that can deal with people with abilities. We need you. And that gave him the boost to do what he did and took out multiple men or whatever. Probably the most interesting thing about this, and I say interesting a lot, I told you that, deal with it. Leave me in the comments below other words that have the same meaning as interesting. And I'll start using those. That would be great. This show is enjoying the whole speed thing. Like, they are really having fun with all these little scenes. Like, there's the scene where Barry tells incredibly hot girl whose name does not, it's just not happening for me right now. He tells her his feelings and everything while she's pouring the sugar, and he's moving around so fast before she could even, he says everything that he wants to say and blah 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 before she hits, before the sugar hits the cup and she finishes her one word. And I thought that was impressive. They did that. Then there was the scene where Barry was at the warehouse and he was protecting Detective West. So Detective West was like, I'm staying. And then the next thing you know, Detective West's ass was outside because Barry moved him. Like, it was little funny stuff like that, which I like. I think that's funny. I think it's a clever use. It's good. I liked it. One thing I had a slight issue with, and I mean slight, I mean very, very slight, was the thing that incredibly hot girl whose name escapes me right now. She's doing the paper and she's doing like this writing project, and of course she has an interest in the Flash now. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's kind of cliche-ish. Kind of cliche. You know what I mean? I get it because, first of all, anytime you're dealing with a writer or a journalist and you have freaking superpowers, it's gonna become an issue. It's just gonna happen. I just found it slightly cliche. They could have come up with something, a different way of telling that, or a different way of it coming about. Maybe she saw him in action or something. I don't know. The last thing I want to say is this, Doctor Dude. Oh, you son of a bitch. Every time I look at you, I just think, you can walk. You are alive. Like, you know stuff that you shouldn't know. I don't know how you get like a magical computer that sees the future, or are you getting like Skypes from 2044, wherever the hell you come from. I'm confused. And now you're like, you're killing people, like you're saying you're protecting the Flash and all that. You better have some answers. Some answers need to start to happen. Yeah, so let me know what that's about. And let me know in the comments below what you think about that. I've heard some interesting comments last week, and I'd like to see what else you guys have to say about this week's. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. You can always give thumbs up. They make me feel better. I will talk to you guys later. Deuces.